with you here, bringing you Sword Art Online Season 3 anime review. This is episode 21, titled The 32nd Night, which, if you didn't know, that's actually the number they gave to Yu-Gi-Oh! And this episode continues with Yu-Gi-Oh! And Kirito going at it, and Kirito's talking to Yu-Gi-Oh! to try to like snap him out of it, but nothing's working. He even stated that I always felt that one day you would surpass me, but not today. And he did this special skill that he never showed Yu-Gi-Oh! Where like he does like a cartwheel backwards to slap his sword out of his hand, and then he uses that momentum to rush forward and swing downwards. Unfortunately, when he was about to get that hidden, Yu-Gi-Oh! Had used a system called I believe Windburst, and he blasted him away. And then he used that special system call to get his weapon back to his hand. And Alice was questioning Kirito about Yu-Gi-Oh! Saying, "Are you sure he's always been an ally of yours? With all these special system calls and skills he's been using, it seems like he's been more of an integrity knight forever than he is, a counter like you." And he reassured her, "Yeah, believe me, he's my partner. He's with me." And then she asked him, "Do you want help?" And Kirito told her, "No, I can fight Yu-Gi-Oh! On my own." So they continue. And Kirito says something to Yu-Gi-Oh! About, "Remember where you came from, remember our teachers, our students, and remember the main purpose of us coming here was for you to get Alice back." And he paused, Yu-Gi-Oh! And he looked down, he just said, "Alice." And it seemed like he was trying to remember, and this kind of made Kirito happy, but he let his guard down, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Just stuck his sword in the ground, and he froze the whole area, and he froze them both there, and then he went back to the room, and he bumped into Chodokin, or Chudokin, I believe his name is pronounced, Chudokin, which is the Prefect's right-hand man, the second highest administrator, the clown dude, the jester. And he's like, you did eliminate them, right?" And he was like, "No, the Prefects told me to stop them, not to eliminate them." And he was like, "First of all, call me, Chancellor. Next time you don't do that, I'm going to ride you like a horse. And second, your job was to finish them, but since you didn't do it, I'm going to do it." So he left the room to go back and finish off Kirito and Alice. Then you have Yu-Gi-Oh! There in the room along with the Prefects, and she was like, "Since you did what you was told and you stopped them, come get your reward." So he went into her bedroom and he basically laid down on her, and she took out that cube that she injected in his forehead to switch his memories around. And she was like, "The only thing you can do now is just move your mouth, but that's all you need to do. Now let's do the ritual synchronize again and make you a full-blown integrity knight." But unfortunately, her plan didn't go as well, because he started to remember Alice in his past, and he started telling his body to move. And his body actually starts to move on his own, the way it used to. And he grabbed his dagger, which he was still wearing apparently. Surprisingly, she ain't took that away from him. And he went to go stab her. Unfortunately, a system call barrier came up, like a shield, and blocked it, and then blew him away. And she's like, "How disappointing." She's like, "Well, I'm able to forgive your transgression against me if you were to destroy that dagger that you got from the cuddle and swear your allegiance to me." But he didn't do it, and he ran up to her with both the dagger and his ice blade. And he actually was able to break through her barrier the second time, but he got blown away by a wind call spell. The same one that he used earlier on Kirito, she used on him. And as that battle progresses, Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually confronts her and was like, "It's the opposite. You think love is control. Love is not control. Love is partnership. But since you always were trying to look for love and you could never find it, that's why you're trying to control everything and everybody. You're the one that's actually empty inside and looking for love." So he basically turned everything that she was saying about him against her, and she kind of got real upset. So I guess Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually hit a nerve. And while that's going on, we have Chudokin comes back to the room screaming for help, and we find out that Kirito and Alice, were actually not completely frozen in ice. They were stuck in the ice cube, but they wasn't like frozen to the bone, and they was actually able to break out. And they actually put a good beating on Chudokin, and he's coming back asking the administrator for help, and he realizes that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is actually a traitor now. He's back to his regular self. He's not acting like Night 32 like he's supposed to. And basically, the Perfects, as you see in the thumbnail, she left the battle to him, and she was like, "You gotta finish this to redeem your glory." And he was like, "Okay, I don't mind doing this, but can you promise me one thing? That when I'm done taking out these 3 traitors, that you allow me to sleep with you for one night and kiss you and touch your body?" And she looked at him and she just laughed. And she's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. As the goddess of this realm of life, I allow it." And he got so happy. And then he uses like this ultimate system called that Majin that you see in my thumbnail. That's a fire version of himself. And that's what he becomes. And that's when the episode ends. Again, this was a pretty good episode. It's nice to know that the Perfects is the one that's actually lonely and is looking for someone to love her and be in a family or maybe relationship, whatever type she wants, maybe friendship, relationship, family. We don't know what type of love she's actually looking for, but it's actually her that feels empty inside. And she was just using that as a manipulation on Yujo. We don't know if Yujo still feels that way or if it's just a lie, but in my opinion, I think it was more a lie because he always had Alice and Kirito by his side. So, I mean, I don't think he ever felt lonely or not loved, but that would have to be explained more in depth in the future episodes to come, since I'm only an anime only. So no spoilers on that. But if y'all can like, leave me a little description if that was his own feelings or did she implant that into him, that'd be nice. But yeah, episode 21, great episode, great stuff. Shodoken becoming that fire Majin deity, genie thing. That's kind of interesting. I want to see how his skill sets are now that he's in that mode. He's like completely on fire, but you see his body is still there moving. So, and certain of his parts are burned. Like his eyes are closed and burnt. I believe his hands and feet are also burnt, and he's on his head right now on the floor. Look like he's breakdancing. Actually, it's kind of funny. But a really good episode, really great stuff. Kind of surprised that Yu-Gi-Oh was able to actually break control of the system that he was going under. And also another thing to note that I almost forgot, the Perfects did say notice something about Yu-Gi-Oh's sword being special, because she looked at the sword when it broke through her shield and she was like, "Ah, you have that sword," but she didn't like clarify what's so special about the sword. So most likely something very special about also Yu-Gi-Oh's sword. We know it was an ice flower that was around since the beginning of the Code Ages, but we don't know really how special it is. So keep that in mind. That's most likely gonna play later on in the VO. But yeah, next episode should be Alice, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Kirito versus Shodoken, the second administrator, or chancellor as I like to call him. But yeah, again, great episode, great stuff. But if you haven't read the episode, I mean, if you have not watched the episode, please go watch it. If you watch it, go watch it again. Great episode, great stuff. Can't wait for next week. Hopefully we get to see more of not just Kirito and Yu-Gi-Oh skills and their partnership, but we get to see more of Alice as well. And hopefully they're able to beat them. You know, not like they have to retreat or something and then come back later on. Hopefully it's not that type of deal, but if it is, it is. Don't matter. It makes the episode longer, I guess. But yeah, great stuff. But like, comment, share, subscribe. Hit this video with a like. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to get notified whenever I post the upload. Follow me on Twitter. Link will be down below. Share with your family and friends. And tell me what you thought about this episode. What did you like it? Did you hate it? What you was disappointed about? What you was happy about? Tell me your prediction for next episode. And let's have some fun with this episode, guys. But that's all I have for you.